want to fight, they wouldn't make it in time to get a tower. Also, their lineup wasn't really built around taking objectives at all, and you know, newbies only had Invoker to do that. But since they were on the right side of the map, if they want to fight, you know, they could take a tower. And I think that that's something that Secret, in terms of decision making on when to take a fight, try to take fights more closer to objectives that they can take afterwards. I feel like that's kind of where they lack, because even though the early game was not as strong as it should have been, because obviously Arteezy wasn't doing as well as he should have. I think that if they shape that up a bit and get some towers, because late game they did fine, as in until they lost.
I mean, you're right, they did struggle, because God's mentioned that as well. The draft is ready, so we're going to get into the draft right now and see exactly what they're going to go for second time round. Well, actually, it's pretty much the same thing again with the bans already. Nothing that we didn't expect to see in the first set of bans or in the second set of bans, frankly.
Same bans, different teams banning the heroes, but based on the first pick has changed over to Newbee this time around, so it looks like Secret take dire side, and that's something which I think is key, because Newbee ended that game with a tier 1 tower swap, which was the tier 1 tower by Roshan. Every single Rosh went, for the most part, uncontested Newbee's way, so that's something Secret take away from them here in game number 2.
I think one of the big things about Newbee, you know, we talk a lot about them grouping up and playing this kind of 5-man style, but it's not just that, it's the fact that they don't get picked off. They don't have one hero off doing his own thing and farming somewhere maybe a little bit riskier.
They've tested a few times, but
that's kind of creating space for the rest of your team to like farm jungle and stuff like that. But when you've got a Queen of Pain and Lifestealer, that's your kind of pairing to jump and catch one target, find a kill, and then you've got like Darkseer to counter initiate when you're forced into these bigger team fights. But Newbee never have that hero that's off doing their own thing, and that's mainly because they've got good vision aggressively watching for the movements in, and they ban out heroes like Beastmaster and Bounty who can give that vision maybe further and deeper into their side of the map.
Same bands, same first pick, different team though.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's mixed around a little bit this time. Mine was first pick last time for Team Secret, so it switched over. I think the Enchantress was the same ban as last time.
I think both teams just recognizing what's going to be the highly contested supports and kind of cores in this series, so they ban out some of the cores, the Lion, something that perhaps Newbee would have wanted if they could have got their hands on it last game, and they're going to make sure they do it their first game.
Early Dazzle.
Now that comes out of nowhere, kind of.
That is not a hero that would have gotten banned out in the second phase, either.
But Puppey being a bit of a mystery, a Houdini at times, and that first pick Dazzle definitely something that's going to throw Newbee off a bit.
10 seconds remaining.
So normally we see offlaners picked aka Darkseer in this case. I thought Universe played a good Darkseer. I was going to say that it should
Puppey
be.
agrees with you.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, we can do that again.
Darkseer's over there right now going, Shiva says Darkseer, I think we should pick Darkseer.
Is this last game their pair up was obviously they could have a vacuum into an Earth Spike, and we saw amazing Earth Spikes coming out from Pylite Eye. What are they going to try to pair up with the Darkseer this game?
I think with Secret with their cores, they want to have some more pushing power. The Lifestealer plus Quap to me wasn't the ideal for duo. That's something I mentioned during the draft, and even later to Gareth again. Is I think the SF would have been a better mid pick for them.
Okay.
Perhaps they just haven't felt like SF has come back in the meta, but we've seen Liquid run the SF successfully. As of late.
No, they're not.
Blitz isn't here. You'd have to whisper.
Jakiro mid?
No, they're not.
We said that last time and it ended up in Jakiro.
Sound like a broken
Just
record
saying.
here. I really like the IO though, so that's Kaka's support. But I think yesterday, Gods, we were talking that you didn't like see 2 supports locked down at the same time. Was it you that said that, or someone else?
I don't mind it too much. It does go away. I mean, it kind of, as long as it depends what those 2 supports do, because you've got burst damage and lock. Like if you have no disables and you pick your first 2 supports, then it reveals a lot. If you do IO Dazzle as your up now, I think that's kind of a weak opener, but it fits Newbee's cores that they like to run, these tanky pushing cores with the IO, really effective. The Lion just guarantees they have some lockdown and a playmaking hero for Chuan, which is always what he wants to be on. Last game was the Disruptor, this game the Lion.
What weaknesses does the openings leave for the teams, for the other team to exploit?
I think there's less that you leave weaknesses. For Secret, it means you can't really run a jungle. Well, you know you're not going to run a jungler now that the 2 supports being picked up with the Darkseer. For the IO Lion, it means that Secret can build kind of strong team fight to help fight around the way Newbee play with IO and just the relocate in general. Maybe we see like a Puppey Enigma come out. Possibility. That's something that was more like an EG style pick where you see your opponents pick IO, you go into like Enigma and Tidehunter and heavy team fight, or Enigma Darkseer. Highlight Eye is not normally the Dazzle player though, it's normally the Puppy hero, but if they feel Enigma's going to fit the bill, they might pick it anyways. So Viper and Batband out. Something we saw Newbee run the Viper when they had this kind of heavy sustain lineup. There's still like Bristle back in the pool,
Juggernaut.
Dragon Knight, Juggernaut. There's plenty of heroes that can go well with this, and those are the kind of heroes I expect Newbee to pick up. Bristle, taking frontline cores, that can benefit a lot from having the IO behind them.
Yeah, back to your point about like weaknesses of opening up double supports. It means that you can focus your bans a lot more against other players because you know that Kako is obviously not going to be playing Phoenix this game, so you can look towards your KP and your Mu heroes especially. But not the same for Newbee. It's a difficult ban out here. You could look for Arteezy's Invoker or something like that maybe because he's practiced that a hell of a lot.
Yeah. Target Envy, same as last game. But the Ember Spirit's still in the pool though. That was banned out in game 1. And I've so many times with Secret, I feel like they just fall back on Jackie's Ember Spirit when they're in a bit of a bind.
Especially if you get like the Lawnmower Ember Spirit going with Iron Shell Flame Guard. You can run at people a fair amount.
5 seconds remaining.
Clark and Spectre removed on the side of Newbee. They're still banning out some of the Envy cores that they're maybe a little bit worried about. Last game, I believe they banned out Ember against him.
Yeah.
Would you think that Ember is still like why not ban an Ember rather than Slark Spectre?
I think they Dire Side Embers, like again, you want to have some Roche taking potential, which Slark and Spectre themselves don't particularly have, so in some ways they're also not great for taking Roche, but Ember is particularly bad at Roche. And that's where I think most scary, we talk about the Ember being a fallback for Jackie, the other fallback for Team Secret has been Drow Ranger strats. If anything, I wouldn't mind seeing them go for like a third pick, either support or ranged mid, and then fourth pick the Drow Ranger. Because that's been like we're in trouble, we need to win a game, let's pick a Drow Ranger.
And then they can actually focus on objective taking.
Yep.
So
But
that's super important for
ET, so they get the
third
support.
pick.
And then Newbee know exactly what they want. The DK kind of mentioned, like they're picking DKs, Bristles, Jugs.
Why pick the ET so early though? It's Puppy. Just shrug your shoulders and say it's Puppy.
He's maybe trying to disrupt the think process.
They want to save their. This is, I think, the one kind of common and consistent things Puppy's done with his drafting is saving Envy and Arteezy's heroes for last. Like, not just in game 1 of this series, but at ESL Manila, they were almost always picking up their carry and their mid in their last 2 picks. That was very much something which was consistent with his style. And that, yeah, it's like a hero that you can pick later in the draft, but it also doesn't reveal too much. Like, Newbee are going to pick kind of tanky frontline heroes regardless. DK, very good against Elder Time because you get the bonus armor, which doesn't get taken away by natural order.
5 seconds remaining.
We could even see one of those dual lane scenarios. We saw it from, was it Complexity or was it earlier today?
Death Prophet.
Where it had like Iron Shell Elder Titan just run at people. And with a Wisp that might be looking towards the mid lane, we see Karkar focusing on controlling runes and regenning up mid. ET can just run at the line and punch him down.
So, big kind of criticism we had of Secret's game 1 draft was they didn't take objectives well. They fixed that with the Death Prophet. It's still the only hero they have for objective taking, but it's a very good one. So they can guarantee towers if they want to fight, if they've still got Exorcism up. Roshan, similarly, you can force a Roche using Exorcism. And this just gives you a much kind of clearer approach and game plan going into game number 2. But a hero that needs to be careful not to get run over too much in the mid game. Burst damage is there from the Lion. A good front line, the DK, who's got high armor, who doesn't just melt to the Exorcism as well.
Percentage-based damage up against Newbee, who like to go for these strength heroes, against the DK in particular. It kind of says, try and pick Bristle, try and pick another one of these strength heroes, and Death Prophet will run over you. Because, in these fights, DK and Bristle, they're not that maneuverable. They've got decent move speed, and they can get in and out of fights a little bit, but they like to stand their ground and just battle head to head. If the Death Prophet's got her ulti popped, you can't really do that.
And Gyrocopter again. So they're going to get the strong laning carry against Darkseer, and it worked out for them in game number 1. So they'll continue that. And Gyrocopter, not really talked about so much as being a tanky frontline core, but he really is.
The way he builds into.
Yeah, the itemization for this hero, we saw Dragonlance last game. He has really high armor. He gets tons of HP survivability items with BKB plus SMY, butterflies. Like pretty much all of Gyro's like core items give him survivability. You're not seeing MKBs, gyrocopters anymore. You're not seeing Daedaluses until much later on. The Rapier is that late game desperation item.
They even ban out the Bristle.
10 seconds.
Yeah, the Bristle could have easily been run as an offlaner, I think, with the IO.
5 seconds.
That was pretty much what Newbee did in game yesterday, I believe, with the IO Bristle.
Reserve time.
That's what OG did earlier as well, of course.
Yeah. See what KP's hero is going to be. He's played offlane Jug a few times. I'm not sure if you'll really want to Jug this game, though.
Oh, hey, look. The EE Ember.
Yeah, still
Remove that one. A nice little interaction as well with Dazzle Weave and Exorcism, that minus armor. Back over onto the DK as well as the support. So that could have been good with a Sleight of Fist.
Right, so team fight, survivability in the front lines. This also gives them a clear like mech and pipe builder as well to kind of match up to what the Darkseer is going to bring to the table. Gives them a ton of sustain as well.
So, no Ember, no Slot, no Spectre. Drow Ranger doesn't really fit here too nicely. Eternal Envy. What does he even go for?
It's Tide.
No, not Jakiro. Red Eye, please.
Oh, what?
They watched
Oscar
OG
is
apparently.
Okay.
So I was wondering if he pulls out the PA or something, but...
Okay. I mean, the interesting thing is that we've already seen it from OG today. And Secret have obviously had the same thought around this, the same kind of composition as well. So does it work for them?
I think it worked really well for OG because they had 2 defensive supports. They also had 2 tanky cores. They had the Bristleback and the Dragon Knight to push towers very well. Like the Husker was playing from behind the whole game. Bristle and DK were taking towers, so I don't think it works as well here for Secret.
All right, let's find out. We will be heading over to our commentary team for game number 2. Toby 1 and Blitz, it's all yours.
You know what? I was almost disappointed. 1, because of Red's handoff, it wasn't creative at all. But 2, I'm not. I got a Huskar pickup. Blitz, we saw it earlier today. OG, as Gods was saying, like they coupled it with a DK as well as a Bristleback. What is Secret thinking by picking up this Huskar as their final?
It's one of the best direct counters to the Gyrocopter. The Gyrocopter relies so heavily on call down and even more than that, the Rocket Barrage. This has been one of the counters since forever. I think it was, I casted a best of 5 way back when. It was NIP versus, what was that team? Vega. Back when NIP was still together, and they drafted a Huskar into a Gyrocopter, and they forced the Gyro to play support. Like, that's how bad it was. And then they just last picked Wraith King, who they initially planned on making a support. They actually had to swap things around. That's how bad it was.
And we'll see if they swap the roles in this game, but either way, we can actually see what lanes we're going to get. So at this point, no surprise, Universe will be on the off lane. Poppy actually picks up a PMS as well as a set of tangos to go this off lane to start with. Newbee, after seeing the fact that the ET as well as the Darkseer on bottom lane, are they...
30 seconds to battle.
It looks like a bit more of a rotation here.
Yeah.
They're switching KP, the Tidehunter, to the bot lane. So they can have the Tide up against the ET as well as the Darkseer.
They're just trying to understand what lanes Secret are going to go to, because they want to dodge this Huskar against the Gyrocopter, because obviously the Gyro is not going to be able to do too much in this situation, so trying to make sure that he gets a decent matchup. But
if they're going to dodge that, they're going to send the DK to the top lane. That's the only other way to do that.
You're okay with this.
So you're okay with like the EE safe lane Huskar up against the Gyro off lane?
Yeah. This is, I think, the ideal situation for Secret in a lot of ways. You would rather have your tri-lane against the solo Darkseer. And now the Darkseer gets a one-on-one matchup against a melee hero. Granted, it is a Tidehunter, and both of these heroes are kind of really well known for beating melees, but...
Oh, Highlight Die. You're going to say hello to Chorn as well as Karka to start with. It's only a little bit of damage. Nothing more than that. Even with Eternal Envy coming in to lend some Burning Spears, they're okay with this because Karka, he's already got the bottle coming to the top lane. And they actually bring Puppy straight away to this defensive tri-lane now of Secret.
Using up a lot of that mana. And now Puppy's going to force these two heroes out. With the poor man's shield, it is nigh impossible to trade hits with them. And this is just going to enable an Envy to get the one-on-one matchup against How. How obviously going to be really strong here when Envy's still only level 1. No Berserker's Blood quite yet.
Still interested to see how long they can keep it up. Like as you said, like with Berserker's Blood, Envy's going to get a lot stronger. But you've still got Kaka giving a huge amount of regeneration to Hao early on, thanks to the early bottle. So Hao can be as aggressive as he wants to be at this point. Unfortunately, Chuan can't say the same. Puppey is just an absolute beast, and in fact, Kaka now has to tether himself down Chuan. As Hao becomes a space creator, and everyone's just like pumping out so much damage, but no one's actually near death yet.
Both of these lanes relatively defensive. Eternal Envy going to be pretty hard for them to kill once he gets at level 2. Same with the Dazzle. Puppey has that poor man shield, so both supports not very effective at trading hits with him. The matchup I'm more curious about is the one here at bottom, as Universe is kind of doing Darkseer things. Trying to make it hard for this Tidehunter to trade hits, but Tidehunter getting kind of lowish on regen, and once Universe gets his Soul Ring, he's going to be in a much better position anyways.
You'll see no gold.
I think KP will have to do it tough, but it does mean you're going to get an early level 6 over on this Tidehunter. The Universe isn't going to be really denying up any of these creeps, so at least you know you're going to have that Ravage timing to combo up with the rest of the top lane.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out about Newbee 2 is during the original TI run, it was really founded on these two cores, Hao and Mu, and Hao sometimes still makes some confusing decisions in like his Spectre game. I think I saw earlier, but Mu has just been an absolute god. This guy has been playing at a tier 1 level, even when his team was on a downswing. Now he's got two supports that really know how to make things work, and Chuan really finding their rhythm on this team.
And their movements are just so wonderful. Right now, Puppey and Pylai, they're still being watched like a hawk by this Observer Ward. They can't pull the camp because the Sentry Ward is still blocking up the normal pull point. And the Observer Ward behind, the second you try and rotate anyone else over, Newbee have a very early detection of this, and they committed both of their Obs Wards to this top lane. They really want this top lane to work for them. And so far, it kind of has. Like, Eternal Envy is getting almost no CS. Like, he's 5 for 4 up against the 12 for 2 CS of the Gyrocopter.
Yeah. The good news, though, is that Darkseer at bottom has absolute free farm. And this is kind of what you expect just because they don't really have the best way to pressure Newbee, so they don't have any disables or anything like that. Mid lane Mu just constantly getting pelted by this Spirit Siphon.
It's harassing him out, but you still got a DK with 2 points up in Dragon Blood. That level of harassment doesn't really seem to do that much, especially when now Kaka will also arrive.
They really both need runes here.
They couldn't get the top one before because each time Secret, they rotate both their supports to control up the top rune. So both Kaka as well as Mu can't pick it up.
It's gonna be real rune at top. It's gonna be for Arteezy is Mu. It's gonna be bottleless, and Darkseer even takes that one at bottom, so that might actually just force Kaka to go back. That might prompt Secret to get aggressive here at top. As this mid lane,
Mu's taking way too much damage. Yes, he got locked in by his own creep wave. Oh boy, the double damage rune gives the extra bit of damage he requires, but it's the Crypt Swarm that finishes the job.
why did I praise him?
Yeah, you shouldn't. It's the cast curse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's instantly how you know it. Arteezy doesn't waste any time. He's got a catapult wave. He does not want Kaka dragging the creep wave off, but it's like there was no option there.
He's just trying to deal damage to the tower while he can. And this really hurts the DK because this is Dragon Knight's job. This is usually what you're going to see the Dragon Knight do. Rotate over, push out the lane, and Kaka going to have his own bottle refilled by the Dragon Knight, but still good lane so far for the DP. They're able to get the solo kill on him. That rarely, if ever, happens in tier 1 battles now in mid, where you get solo killed.
It's almost like you just got screwed by the creeps that came up behind him. Like there was just no way for him to walk away and escape. There was one escape that happened while that was going on. It was actually KP, who was able to TP himself away from Universe. So you forced the Tidehunter to go all the way back, and we actually had the lane change up. So Hao will TP down to the bottom lane. They move him away from that Huskar. Now the Huskar is about to crack level 5.
Yeah, he needed the solo XP. The two supports up there aren't really going to do too much for him, as both Dazzle and Elder Titan, no sort of disables between the two of them. At least reliable ones anyways, as the Echo Stomp is something that you shouldn't fully rely on too much.
Do you actually want to move Puppey down the bottom lane? Like, should Secret rotate with Newbee and try and keep that Gyro under pressure?
I think you're in an okay position right now. The Darkseer's getting so much out of this lane, as is. He's got 39 CS. Downside is that the Tidehunter gets free farm too, but that's something that you sort of expect in this kind of matchup. As Arteezy's going to pick up the top rune, Universe gets the bottom one, and if they want to make this rotation mid, they know that Moo doesn't have that dragon form yet. They're going to try to go for the sandwich.
He's got help though, because KP's here, Universe. Okay, KP started the Ravage animation, but he will not complete it.
Yeah, just fakes that one.
This just seems so brutal. Like the last 6 runes have actually gone to Team Secret.
They're just making it a priority to shut them out because you have 2 bottles. And Wisp especially relies on runes more than almost any other hero. You can't do anything with an empty bottle Wisp. You're actually just a ball of light.
It's almost like you're reaching the point where Wisp just goes back to base, TP's forward, and then you use the bottle manipulation with Moo.
Yeah, that's what he
to
has been
keep him
doing.
up.
But you get under leveled that way. You don't really feel the impact sometimes. He is level 4 because he is dual laning, but at the same time, your mid lane suffers as a result. He's a full level behind the DP. He can't really leave him behind either anymore because Moo just gets gone on. We're going to see mid. Both supports standing behind Arteezy, but shouldn't really have to worry too much as Chuan's pulling bottom and Hao has shown himself too.
It's almost like they're just trying to like balance out the lanes, and everything is still fairly balanced until like Arteezy does something like this. It forces the mid lane, there's no fortification, so Moo just going to quickly Dragon Form and Tail. Getting Arteezy into a little bit more of a riskier position. And Sean also going to arrive. In comes Kaka. The Ravage going to blow. Sean lines up for the double stun, catching Puppy out at the same time. They need more damage though, and they just don't have it. They're fighting underneath the ultimate, the exorcism, and now in comes Hao with a flag cannon damage. Moo will stay alive thanks to Kaka, and Arteezy, he is going to go down. He actually doesn't get to the end of the exorcism, so extra alive coming back into him, and Puppy can't even get his stomp off. She'll actually trade off a 2 for 1 with the Tidehunter going down. Newbee, but you've just lost your mid, your big mid as well.
That was so good by Newbee right there. You saw Chuan block off the Darkseer too. That would have been a dead gyrocopter, and that would have been a good trade for Secret, as they already napped the mid tower. Use the Tidehunter ultimate, which is a lot of what was stopping Team Secret from getting ultra aggressive around the map, but any sort of 2-for-1 trade is always going to be okay. It's just that you had to expend cooldowns on a lot of different TPs. And during this time, Eternal Envy just got free farm.
Yeah.
So Newbee's happy because they killed the Death Prophet, but Secret's happy because they forced a lot of ultimates and they allowed their Huskar to continue to get farm. And it doesn't really slow down the pace of the DP too much. You realize she still has 3,800 net worth, leads the game, no problem. Darkseer's getting a lot too. So all 3 cores are really starting to get quite a lot as Moo mid.
There's no more Spirit Siphon.
Oh.
If there was, he probably would have been in a world of hurt.
They do know about this, and he has a Spirit Siphon up. KPS to actually run away.
I'd be a little bit concerned about this top
hit.
lane, waiting for Chuan to actually be initiated on by EE. Support's arriving in the form of the Dazzle.
Yeah, I don't think he has... Don't you just stun and then Hex and run away?
You should be able to do that, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have any follow-up initiation. It's just a Dazzle up here. Puppy showing himself on the map as his Universe.
And Hao doesn't really care if Universe and Puppy want to try and go on him. Like, yeah, he's probably going to take a little bit of damage, but okay, maybe he'll care more when Arteezy moves over.
Yeah, this is just sort of poking and prodding. Set up for the rune in 30 seconds too. Whole lot that he can do mid. Without the tower available, he's just got to wait for the lane to push in. Heavy rotation is Newbee. Start to make their way across, but Newbee...
The Observer Ward actually gives them great vision of what's going on, and I'll see the fact that Eternal Envy just TP'd down here. And Obs gives a hell of a lot of information.
They just beelined away from him.
Yeah, you got Hao, who's already like leaving the lane. You don't have Finger of Death yet over on Chuan, so they can't get an instant kill. They're hoping for a moment on Arteezy. But it's bottom lane where Hao's going to get caught out first, down inside the tree line. But then back to Mim, the relocate's coming in with KP. Arteezy will drop, they blow the Ravage. Hit Highlight die as well. But they'll get a 2-for, even if they do lose their safe laner in Hao.
Yeah, that was such an awkward engagement. They were going to make their way bottom. They see the Huskar immediately. They're just like, no, this is not...
Keep dodging. He's got armor he wants to fight. I'm surprised Hao didn't back up a lot earlier.
Yeah,
because he stuck around to farm the wave.
It was so funny how they swerved like that though on the map. They're just like, nope, that's not what we wanted to do at all. But yeah, it is surprising that they knew Eternal Envy was down there, so they make the rotation otherwise. Hao knows there's going to be no support because they're all in on that DP mid, and yet he chooses to stay down there. Absolutely cannot afford for that to happen.
Just pushes him a little bit further back behind in the net worth, but They can start claiming some buildings that Newbee can pick back up, because right now Team Secret, they own the top 3 net worth positions, with the Tidehunter only just now taking out that 3rd spot from them.
Yeah, he
and
just
the Tide's
continues.
building into that mech early on too, so Secret's team fight's going to be a little bit more difficult once that's up and running.
Secret have to kind of push the pace. They know there's going to be no counter initiation with something like the relocate into Tidehunter ultimate, which I don't think the Death Prophet expected. And at bottom, they know he's down there. They might actually just go for the dive with Eternal Envy.
Yeah, there it is.
No, there's no TP.
Search him up. The support's coming in, the cooldown's on his way, EE. Well, he's going to run into the last bit of the cooldown, and how he does almost no damage to Gyrocopter. Moo, however, stunning up Universe. There's no instant back into a wall, but now it comes out. How will drop. The Lion of Chorn will join him, and KP will arrive, but he's coming in almost a little bit too late. Karka also relocated himself down to this one. They need the kill on Eternal Envy, but the shallow grave from Highlight Die, allowing Envy to fight a little bit longer. But there's that mech charge. Eternal Envy will be dropping here. They're able to, well actually KP, oh no! He had five charges of the Burning Spears on him. He was never going to live from that.
Yeah, Eternal Envy just mows down 3 heroes and... Okay, somebody didn't send Hal the memo. Like, you're not going to fight against a Huskar. That was just kind of sad.
Maybe he thought everyone else was going to come. Like, I think the reason why the IO
They did.
didn't come straight away. They didn't come straight away. Like, IO TP's in behind the tower, KP comes in after Hal was dead.
There's just so much, there's just only so much that you can do. And it wasn't even like it was a full 5-man Secret rotation. It's just Gar against Gyrocopter. That's sometimes just what happens.
Yep.
That's what it looks like if you were curious. That's why Secret decided to last pick it, because even though you have some physical damage counters with obviously the Tide Anchor Smash and the DK right click, doesn't do a lot when Huskar can destroy your safe laner. You saw how got everything off. He got his call down, he was rocket barraging at close range, went down in 5-6 hits.
They really need to get rid of that Berserker's Blood, and that's when I look towards Moo. He's already walking around with a Shadow Amulet, so more than likely, like, Silver Edge Rush. Can you get away with that with the DK? Like, obviously Silver Edge is, just Shadow Blade is a normal item on the DK currently, just for initiation purposes.
Sort of think he needs a... Well, BKB's not going to be an absolute priority, right? I'm trying to think. Kind of like for him to get an armlet of his own at some point. He needs some cheap damage. I do like the Shadow Blade though against a lot of Secret heroes. They need to be able to open up on some of them. It would make it so that Highlight Die has to play his positioning a lot more carefully too. Good news for Newbee though is that their 2 supports are really leveled compared to the 2 on Team Secret. You just grab your level 6 on Puppy. Highlight Die is in a pretty abysmal situation at just level 5, as he has to act as kind of the saving grace for Secret in a lot of these engagements.
The only downside is the fact that Sean's ulti does almost no damage to Eternal Envy.
It's whatever. To worry about that.
He can look for another target. Maybe he can also control the Darkseer, but you also look at Universe's like items. Top net worth on the field, already with a Hood of Defiance and as well as the mech.
Yeah, that's a smoke though from Newbee. They want to take this engagement around their Ravage. They don't want to get this game going way too late, just because again, Gyro against Huskar.
Oh, Universe is going to break the smoke. The Dire Observer was there. Eternal Envy. He wants to jump in with a life break, but he's already hexed up. The armlet's only got 15 one-shots to the Shallow Grave, and a back wall. It's huge, and the splitter. Eternal Envy will just survive for this. Oh no, he won't. He'll go down. How they actually managed to regather themselves with the help of the Ravage. Then Envy, okay, he's going to fly back. They feel like they need to commit to win this engagement. RTZ still got the next system going to work. Chorn wants to keep him in position. KP's going to TP out. Universe does not have a back to stop it. Chase is going with Arteezy. Can he actually reach him? He just looks so damn slow with just these treads on. And Karka will tether away. The stomp will put him into sleep, but Universe will break him out of it. Karka up to the tree line. He will now drop, and Chuan will also have the same fate. But you managed to get a buyback over on the Huskar Secret.
Roche.
Are they bearing down on Roshan?
You have to. You use the buyback on Eternal Envy. You know there's no Ravage. Relocate is still up, but Ravage is the big spell there. And they just had no way of helping Envy up there. Like, they had the Vacuum into Earth Splitter combination, but they used everything to ensure that Eternal Envy was going to go down there. Wasn't even able to pop his wand in that engagement. Goes for the buyback to ensure that Newbee can't fight back, but especially me, I underestimated how much they were going to be able to heal.
Moo's going to pop the Dragon Form. There's a Sentry down already. The relocate going to bring everyone else back to the front lines. Roshan's low over the back. Again, there's no more combo. Moo dropping down very low, but Eternal Envy, he's just so damn low. But again, the Shallow Grave. Highlight Die from inside the Roshan. He's able to keep him alive. KP back to the front lines. The relocate out. You've actually got 1-for-1 trade-off at the moment. Roshan still licking his wounds at 730 life. Chuan just needs to get himself away from this. He'll turn for the one stomp. The damage from Arteezy is not enough, but it will be enough from Puppy Stomp. keeping the spirit on top of Newbee. They go back in to finish the job. They look towards Roshan. No cooldown available. The buyback comes out from Chorn. They're trying to make Secret think twice. With no exit, the damage won't be as much. The Stomp at least keeps KP in position. And the split up, try to farm with the back wall combo! Hits beautifully! The damage still isn't enough! Kaka, okay, it will be. Now TZ finds the double. How isolating up against Universe, who wants to walk back through the wall. Roshan is still alive.
So
Universe is getting out, but Newbee is on the way. Chorn is back to the front lines.
They don't want to give up this Aegis. They know it's really low. Puppey, though, trying to guard it, moves back alive. Everybody from Secret, though, they have to lick their wounds and run away. Eternal Envy's going to TP down.
How thought they were still in there.
Oh, that stun is going to delay up Moo even longer. And Roshan might just be too tanky for Newbee. I think they have to disengage from this.
He's back.
Yeah, they're going to have relocate in 10 seconds, though, and the Ravage is coming soon. But that's going to be way too late. And Secret walk away with a good fight as Puppey and Universe hook up for that combo. The vacuum wall into that Earth Splitter did so much damage.
For a moment, I thought they were going to survive, like Kaka. He still had another 2 bottle charges once he got out of the stun. But he just can't repair that damage quick enough. Now Chuan also in a little bit of trouble. The Stomp not instantly coming out from Puppey. He's almost playing around with Chuan at the moment. And a relocate is on the way. They'll look towards Universe, bringing How along with him. Kaka, well, there is actually a shot like Grave still available. And Universe triggering off his mech. And Finger of Death, he's still got 7 stick charges as well. Makes a break for the tree line. The flat cannon will not be enough damage. He waits longer before he'll trigger off these stick charges. Now it happens with a combo heal from Pylai Die. Universe keeps running, but it's not far enough away. The Stomp from Puppey, just a fraction of a second too late.
Yeah, but Arteezy might be going down here as Heals is up the Dragon Knight as he's just going to run away, but in some cases, I think they could have won that fight even harder. Eternal Envy forgot to the one, and if you notice, I think he actually turned the armlet off when the Tidehunter went for the anchor smash, so that's why it looked like the Tide did a 600 damage anchor. But still, fight goes for Secret's way just because they pick up the last hit on the Aegis, and more importantly than that, they're really bringing the fight to Newbee. We talked about how Newbee really relies on getting the map control, winning these mid-game team fights, and then just kind of starving you out and taking objectives one at a time.
Yep.
But Secret with the dire side, bring the fight to them every single time. And even with the Ravage up, they're not afraid to take these. And I think this is the right idea with how you're going to fight into a team like Newbee. You have to pick superior team fight, you have to get a really good laning phase off, and you got to maneuver around their large ultimates.
So far, Secret have been doing a pretty damn good job. They actually held a 5k net worth and a 3k experience advantage, but just the way things have been going recently is starting to curve back in favor of Newbee. I look for the next major items arriving. Like, the DK is getting a hell of a lot more farm. He actually picked up the Ogre Club now, so not the old style build of Silver Edge. Obviously, that got changed. So it looks like it looks like he's going to go for a BKB.
Yeah.
If he forgot about it, then that's just really sad for Moo.
Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah, it would be unlikely.
Although BKB, I guess he can start the Titan Stomp and the Vacuum. There is a lot of physical damage on the side of Secret. More than anything, you can also stop the Burning Spears, which is a large part of where the damage is coming from right now.
Well, that's his item of choice. Not finding any initiation. Secret have actually already prepared a nice little wall of observers, which see any kind of entry into their own jungle. So they know when they have to rotate out, and that's probably also the other reason why Eternal Envy, now with Dragon Lance in hand, is just pushing out the bottom lane with the babysitting of Pylai Die.
Yeah, good pickup from him. Kind of gives you everything you need. Better item than drums in this situation. Just needed all-around stats to be able to survive. Secret going to go for this 2-man smoke.
Well, they still have an Aegis team order they want to capitalize with. At the moment, all they're doing is just, well, farming, and they've got 2 minutes left on the Aegis.
Yeah, they've got to make something happen soon, and it looks like they want to invade back into their own jungle. They have full vision of where Newbee are at right now. Of course, you don't want to engage into one of these heroes as
they just saw Moo go invis.
Yeah, they're going to pick him off here. Do they have any
They have no detection.
Nope.
Puppey doesn't have it. In fact, okay, now the supports actually have detection. There's 2 sentry wards flying out in the Curry at the moment.
Okay, they really need vision up here. They still see Kaka though. This ward has been really effective for them. It should tip them off to the fact that Newbee might have a ward in their own jungle too though.
The Secret are going to force things down the mid. Criticism is up, so it wouldn't be too difficult for TZ just to push down the mid lane. At the same time, Chuan's already attacking into the top lane. He's got a little bit of help behind him, so this may just be a straight tower trade. Al, with the cooldown, will slow down this push from Team Secret. TZ tries to just force him out a little bit more. The cooldown actually doing very minimal damage to the creep wave. And the TPs are already starting. Puppy's coming up to the top lane. Be interested to see if they bring anyone else. With a fortification up, it's not going to be the easiest thing to finish off this tower. The stomp from Puppy will come, and here starts the TPs. With a split, Kaka is right on the line for this. He'll snap him back. Wants to get himself out of here, but he cannot do it in time. With the relocate, he could have brought Moo with him. But the tower still goes down to the Dragonite. Moo makes a break for the treat line. So you lose your IO, but you ensure the kill on the tower. And Jaro then denies the mid tier 2 as well.
Yeah, at the same time, you also had to commit the Death Prophet ultimate, just take that tower mid. They didn't even get the last hit on it. They weren't able to take a team fight after that fact. Yeah, you lose the IO, but that's a level 9 IO. Not a lot gained by Secret is. Maybe just continue to split up the map a little bit more, farm around the map more efficiently too. And you're starting to see that reflected in both the XP and the net worth as it starts to curve up in favor of Newbee. And Secret, even though they've got the objective advantage, mind you, they still did take the Roshan and they have their bottom tier 1 tower alive. It's Newbee that are just farming around the map a little bit more.
Yep. It's almost like they're just denying Eternal Envy the ability to do whatever the hell he wants. Like, he's got a wonderful fighting build early on, but ever since he's reached that point, like, Secret almost have to force the fights. And as we saw, like, you trade a tier 2 for a tier 2, you can't force it.
Also, probably the bigger thing is that Dazzle just hasn't been able to get anything. He's more or less just sitting behind Eternal Envy, waiting for situations where he gets gone on to get that last second grave off. But when you do that, yeah, your Huskar is going to be in a much better position, but at the same time, you're never going to find individual farm for yourself.
Alright, so Team Secret, they still at least hold 1 out of the top 3 net worth positions, but the Gyrocopter and the DK are moving up very, very rapidly. Moo's BKB, now 450 gold away. Time is just flying for him.
Yep.
And the Gyrocopter, he actually went in for a Dragonlance before finishing up his own BKB. I say finishing. He also needs to get the full Mithril Hammer before he finishes his BKB.
I believe he thinks that he has to be able to just hit from further away to play the positioning game against Huskar. And the BKB, it's helpful, but he needs some measure of damage and tank. The BKB is going to be huge for him, though. It's going to allow him to kind of hit the Huskar without just melting.
Yeah.
Before, what would happen is Eternal Envy is like, please hit me.
That almost puts more pressure on Arteezy, right? Like, if the X system doesn't start doing a lot of physical damage,
yeah,
like the BKBs just negate a large portion of the hits.
Especially since Spirit Siphon doesn't go through the magic immunity anymore like it used to, which meant DP would scale even later into the game. But in this kind of situation, Secret, they want to take fights. Part of the issue is they don't really have the best disables on their team. They rely pretty heavily on that vacuum into ET Stomp combo.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot of ways to lock them down. You notice that, especially in the fights where Eternal Envy gets gone on. They just sort of watch him die, because what are you going to do? Once you've expended the vacuum and the ET Stomp, you don't have any more disables. You could Dual Scepter somebody, I guess?
You also have Dazzle help out, but Dazzle can't seem to stand anywhere near the front lines without dying almost instantly.
Yeah. You have one unreliable stun.
And How is really trying to force Secret to come home. And he's managed to get at least 1 back. Again, Puppy will be the first one to TP in. If he can get the Spirit and Stomp out, they would have an opportunity here against Hal, but Hal's already finished his TP. He only takes about 100, well, actually a little bit more than that, about 300 life off that tier 3 tower.
He was super efficient, though, up there. He got a lot going there.
He actually finished his BKB and still has 1400 gold up his sleeve.
Yep, disassembles.
It's like Newbee have perfectly throttled this game until they're at a point where they know they can fight. And Team Secret was so grouped up that actually this experience graph is almost looking like it's had a team fight happen. Like, you've gone up by a good 2k experience in favor of Newbee in just the last minute. Getting so much out of this map, even Sean with a Blink Dagger as well as that level 2 Finger of Death. I'm very concerned for Pylodai's safety now.
Pylodai has to be the man of the match. His positioning in these fights are gonna have to just be masterful. There's a lot of different ways that they can gap close on this team. And again, like we talked about, one unreliable stun on the side of Secret, and that's gonna be the ET Stomp. So if he just gets ran at, not a whole lot that they can do to commit to save him. It's gonna be the initial fight. Whatever Secret can burst, that's gonna be the most important for them. They have to get their combo off. They're gonna stand a chance at taking a straight up 5v5 fight against things like the Ravage, against the Lion.
There's smoke moving down the bottom lane. The Dragon Form was triggered pretty early here by Moo. He's now in range of the tower. He did it because he actually just farmed up the ancient stack of Team Secret. But here they come. Where is the movement? TZ wants forward. NB, who do you want to jump on? He's going to go over towards Moo. You've still got Kaka in a position where he can potentially relocate, save that. Then they move forward with Hal. Chuan, they isolate Eternal Envy. The Ravage making it difficult. Now the Ravage will pop.
Oh, he dodges it.
And holding him there for the moment. And now the back wall will happen. The mech and the splitter. Kai P, he's actually moving far enough away, but no, he's not. Puppy's there waiting with open arms. 2 heroes down for Newbee. They're just trying to bail out of here. That was not the fight they were looking for, but it's still a 2-for-1 trade-off.
KP looks for the counter initiation, but immediately gets clipped. Uses the Ravage. The Death Prophet dodges it with the Yule Scepter, making it completely useless. Now you're in a situation where you're gonna have to give up the Roshan. You don't have the Ravage available. Relocate is still there, but without the Ravage, no way that you take that fight. The Secret. That's exactly what they needed. The biggest thing is, again, Ravage was wasted. DP gets his Yule Scepter off at the last second, right as the tick starts to hit. Secret read that situation beautifully. It looked for a second like Newbee were just going to stop that fight, but...
Instead, the Secret who comes out on top, and the Aegis the Immortal will be passed over to Eternal Envy. So again, EE having more and more life. The Octarine now fully done over on TZ as well. Looks like Eternal Envy.
Did you say Kaipi, by the way?
I think I did say that in the middle of the fight. Bring it back the memories, bro.
There's no memories, man. They're a team again. Don't say that, man. That's messed up.
I'm sorry.
That Dazzle Grave plus the Self Yules, really good individual plays, and Newbee, they definitely did not expect to lose that bottom fight. No, that was something I think they thought heavily go in their favor, especially with no BKBs on the side of Team Secret. It just looked like that was going to be a stomp for them. Dragon Knight had his BKB popped. The Gyrocopter was also in the thick of things. We had a lot of different opportunities to take that fight.
It just seems to have to go so deep to reach the backline of Team Secret. Puppy is holding them back so far with that Spirit. Even just jumping forward, if you're going to do it, you're going to commit yourself almost to suicide. But Chuan, like, he focused on Eternal Envy at the very start, and you can see him, like, he wanted a Finger of Death. But what are you going to do? Finger of Death for Huskar, who's already at half of his life? That's...
Commit, man. Show him you have no fear.
That's one way to look at it.
Tell him you don't respect his Berserker's blood.
That's why I'm still waiting for this Silver Edge. And Moo, this is actually the timing we're looking for. So he's got enough money now, or practically now, where he's going to be picking up the Ultimate Orb. So the Silver Edge is up for him.
Yeah,
that's when Eternal Envy, like, with the first reveal of this, EE may just pop. But he's also got Aegis the Immortal, so first reveal may not be as effective as they would hope.
Also, he just finishes BKB. Moo probably thinks he's being so cool. You know why he does that anyways? Because every single core player hates going BKB. Eternal Envy, whenever I see him play Slark, he's like, I'll go Manta before I get a BKB. And jump is made as, does he have enough damage? The answer is emphatically yes. If he's going to get clipped by this, going to force staff, but...
He has the blink as well. Let's just get him away from the Spirit so he can get out. And away from the vision of Arteezy's Yule Scepter.
Yeah. But every core player, you don't want to get a BKB, but Eternal Envy's like, why not? And as soon as he does, picks up the Silver Edge.
It's kind of brutal for Moo too. Like, that fight on bottom lane may have been very, very different. Thank you, Kaka.
Kaka's going to tell them when the Aegis is down.
But yeah, if he had the Silver Edge a little bit earlier, maybe that bottom fight could have been a little bit different, but there's a lot of what-ifs.
Yeah, the BKB, you saw pay dividends. The Huskar wasn't dealing any damage in the beginning, because the Burning Spears is where the majority of that comes from, but...
you don't take damage, but you can't inflict damage.
Yeah. Alright, here we go.
Now they smoke maneuver.
Take two.
Hal's already pushing out that bottom lane, attacking into the tier 2 tower. The fact that no one's here to defend this has got to be a warning bell for Newbee. And they actually find Moo in the river. Question is, yep, they brought detection. Universe at the dust, and Moo just BKBs and TPs out to safety.
That's the second charge used, though. Good news for Newbee is their Gyrocopter is leading in net worth. Bad news for Newbee is that he's a Gyro still against the Huskar.
The bad news is KP will actually, yep, now he TPs. That stomp was out of range. He wasn't sure about it, though. He really wasn't sure about it.
The way that Newbee wins this game is they have to kill everybody or just completely crowd control up Eternal Envy. Otherwise, I don't even know if they can do that anymore with that BKB purchase. But you're going to have to give it a good shot.
Well, the only other option is you have Chuan jump in and get that Hex off first.
Yeah.
So the BKB effect is removed.
thing for Newbee though is, again, Secret are a little bit limited in disables, so the more this game goes, the more they can play the mobility game. It's so hard, you can tell, for Secret to get individual pickoffs. Like, when's the last time you saw Team Secret get an individual pickoff? It was that Wisp at top, and that's he was completely isolated, but if you think about the rest of the game, there hasn't been. It's only been these huge 5-on-5 clashes. So you kind of read what Secret want to do. They want to force Newbee to kind of confront them, and Newbee are trying to say, no, let's play the keep away game, continue to let our gyrocopter get farmed. Maybe if he gets 6 slotted, he can fight against this Husk.
Yeah. Kind of have like a physical damage dealing item first, like that's the only other way to get through the Husker. They're teasing, they're going to force the issue right now, pushing up high ground. Sentries dropped just in case anyone wants to have a nice ward to see where Newbee are positioning before the fight begins.
Thanks to Kaka though, everybody now knows where the Aegis falls.
They're going to wait it out. That Aegis Immortal is still on him. MP is low.
The Ravage.
AP, a 5-man Ravage. The splitter rather ineffective, and how moving forward. You've got to keep your eyes on Eternal Envy. He's jumping forward for KP, actually leaving the rest of his teammates behind, including Arteezy, who will drop the Darkseer vac wall. Was able to make a little bit more space. They kept through the range ranks. EE back to the front lines again, and there it is. The Aegis Immortal is gone. They waited it out. And EE, the Shallow Grave from Paladai, positioning perfect. EE wants to keep on fighting. The stun from the rocket is going to be enough. The stomp from Puppy can't make enough space. They're going to lose both their primary pushing cores here, Secret. So Newbee defend, and they're already on the hunt. Sean is moving forward, but he's got to be careful. They find Pylai Die, and Pylai Die can't run. He really has nothing. And Chuan and Kaka, they relocated forward. Puppy, no, the Starter, it's going to stop him. The Dragon Tail arrived just in time. He was ready to punch Kaka, but he couldn't finish the job. Oh boy, that's a cost. That's a costly fight for Secret.
Yeah, and they only grab range tracks out of that too. If it was a melee one, I think they might even walk away happy from that, but
they didn't even force a buyback. Like with 30 minutes in, Newbee didn't have to expend any extra money for it.
Yeah, Secret thought they weren't going to continue to take the fight after the Ravage, but we talked about it to death. They have a lot of different ways to engage the fight.
Yep.
It's not like Secret's lineup where they rely so heavily on 1 or 2 abilities. They have lots of different ways to chase out. Even their cores, for example, like Moo can hunt. With the Silver Edge, you saw the application of it in this last team fight. Eternal Envy had to use the BKB before the Aegis ran out, meaning he didn't have it when he came back alive, and they took him to bits.
Sometimes for Howes, he's going to make the most out of the new Dota 2 items. The Bloodthorn looks to be his item of choice. Currently walking around with the Orchid.
It's actually not bad against the Huskar once he starts to lose a lot of that effectiveness from the BKB. All the crits, right? There is a BKB on the side of Huskar. I guess you just kind of have to kite around. You're going to rely on that fact. If you can waste a lot of this BKB charges, once it starts to get down to 5 seconds, you're going to see how effective it can be.
I'm actually wondering too, not so wondering. Yeah, the DK's already got a Hyperstone on him.
He needs the armor to help out against the Huskar.
The AC armor. And Kaka also having his pipe up and running.
They are getting really tanky.
Yeah.
After that last fight at top 2, net worth experience especially really ticks up.
Experience is huge. Al gonna BKB and TP himself out. Nothing Envy can do about this. These BKB charges are dropping down lower.
Yeah.
So there's 7 seconds now left over on the gyrocopter and 7 seconds on the DK.
They really need to win the next Roshan fight, Secret. That's going to be where the next big engagement is going to be. There's no way that Secret decide to fight without it, especially with the Silver Edge up on the side of the Dragon Knight. You want to be able to use that BKB a little bit more freely on the side of Eternal Envy. Plus, with these mini engagements, you're forcing out a lot of BKB charges on the side of Newbee.
Could be a big reason why Kaka's prepping his observer wards already around Roshan.
Yeah.
So they can see Team Secret just running at him.
Why wouldn't you fight at that? You know if they grab it, Secret are immediately going to go for the high ground.
Looks like EE, the Talisman of Evasion over on the Courier. Is the full Shiva's Guard now also done for the Death Prophet? Kind of forget how big Arteezy is. He's the second highest on the net worth charts.
Yeah,
Al still leads the way.
Hal's just been farming. Whenever his team is holding the base, he's just split pushing, trying to get as much as he can. As a result, the rest of the heroes on Secret just haven't been able to keep up because they're a lot more 5-man oriented, of course. But Roshan's going to be the name of the game as it pops up. They do have ward vision around that area. This is going to be the Aegis and Cheese. Quite huge for Team Secret, as we know DP with a Cheese. One of the best heroes with it, of course.
See if she can get her hands on it, however. Newbee now, the Assault Cuirass is done. They're already pushing in the mid lane. Like, the only lane which isn't really favorable for them right now is over on the bottom. He's actually finished up the full Heaven's Halberd before this fight will begin.
There's going to be no BK or MKB on the side of Newbee for quite some time with the commitment of this Assault Cuirass. That
The Bloodthorn just got done too.
Yeah, exactly.
So it slows down the MKB on the gyrocopter.
the Universe is going to send the illusions forward to scout. He should be able to spot some heroes from Newbee.
He actually scouts the Observer Wards. He's got a gem over on himself, so
They're even going to pop the scan. They know everybody's up here. Spirit's going to fly, and the smoke. Okay, he knows.
They're walking through the Spirit. Yeah, Puppy pinged it out. He knows what's going on. But he's inside the pit. He's going to walk himself out now. Secret also have a little bit of extra buff up. They got that Ogre Frost Mage.
They can wait. They're
not waiting. They smoke. Moo walks directly into him, breaks it. They go directly on top of Puppy, remove his aura, and now the Ravage from KP hitting on 3 Eternal Envy. No real presence in this fight just yet. The Yule Center from the Death Prophet brings her up and towards the air with a finger of death. Instantly puts RTZ down, and Moo just goes for more. KP with the Anchor Smash, Pyline's going to drop the back wall, try to create a little bit more space, but they got the BKBs up anyway. To Eternal Envy, man fighting. It is 5 on Envy right now. He is unique in this Secret Sandwich. He's just surviving. He's actually holding on. They can't hit him.
Did he actually just win this fight?
Yep, they just did. KP attempts to TP out. He'll be successful.
Unbelievable.
He'll survive in the basement, man. EE.
Come on, we reacted as if this fight was over for Secret.
Well, it looked over.
It was Eternal Envy against the world. He goes full Terminator mode, holds the line, says, "You shall not pass." The entire team makes their way over with the Puppy buyback. What a fight by them.
Oh boy.
That might have just saved the game.
Get the Roshan.
He was able to just 1v4, just walks away. Everybody from Newbee's desperately trying to ping this guy down. They lose both their cores in that engagement.
Oh boy. They just couldn't hit him. Like, what was it missed chances? Was it also, like, did he break the silver at some point?
They just couldn't. It was the Heaven's Halberd combined with the fact that he was healing. The majority of the BKBs were used, so he was getting a lot of damage out of there. They didn't have any of their burst nuke controls or anything like that. The stuns were a little bit more stacked than they would have liked. Oh boy, I really thought Newbee was going to have that fight. That looked so perfect for them. They got the control factor up on the Death Prophet. They really made that work. I thought Newbee, okay, they've continued their streak. They've knocked Secret down a little bit. But that was just cool Dota.
It really was. I still can't believe this Newbee with a 10k experience advantage at this game.
Yeah, I was calling that fight. I was already getting in my mind prepared for why Newbee won that fight. I was going to talk about how they caught BP off guard. Then all of a sudden, Eternal Envy's just like 1v4ing.
Now time. Secret come in. Arteezy very, very deep. Again, the finger of death will kill him off. Just had no time to react, and Secret wanted to. Like, they started the weave 2 seconds before that fight began. They were trying to build up the armor, but they were just very, well, I want to say premature into the base.
That was so funny. We're just talking about how they're gonna win the engagement. They're going up high ground, and then he immediately just gets blown up.
We're actually swinging the caster curse stick.
Yeah. Who used the Force Staff onto the DP? Because that's what really did it.
It's Chuan. That was Chuan.
Yeah, you are right. She used Force debuff from Lion. This is very well played by Chuan. If he doesn't get that one off, Secret can probably hold and help him out. You pop the Grave onto the DP, then she pops Cheese. Up at full HP again, you're fighting under DP ultimate, but instead Newbee, really well done by them.
I still find it amusing that it was Puppy who actually picked up the Aegis the Immortal after all that happened.
Oh, did he?
They were in no peril to like put it on anyone else. Eternal Envy held on to all of his current items as opposed to taking the Aegis.
And to be real with you, the Elder Titan is doing so much in these engagements, being able to get multiple man stomps off. Obviously, you want to keep him around for the Spirit plus the Natural Order.
Yeah,
that's going to be what enables Secret to do a lot of that damage, but they have to protect their cores. Still really liable to just get immediately blown up in a lot of these engagements.
Maybe a little bit more difficult in the next engagements. KP's rapidly approaching that refresher orb. So you can have double Ravages for Team Secret to deal with. So a lot of control factors. You still haven't seen any kind of real progression there from Moo.
He's only got a 5-second BKB
mid lane, yep. There's room from Eternal Envy. He's just staring down How. He's going to BKB and TP out, but the damage is more than enough to kill him before he can complete it.
No armor at all on How after that Natural Order walks by. There's no armor items on that gyrocopter. Look how quickly he goes down. Even with the BKB and no burning spears, gets 4-shot.
He basically got to stand next to Moo.
Yeah.
There's that refresher done. You got buyback on the gyrocopter, so if Secret want to push this, which, well, kind of want to. Like, you've still got every ultimate up here from Team Secret, and you got 2 minutes left on the Aegis. So they start the weave a little bit earlier this time, so the armor, it starts to tick forward. Eternal Envy will be the front man runner. Moo hits him straight away. They really want that kill with a force staff again. Chorn's on top of him. Have they got enough to kill him off? The Ravage, number 1's gonna trigger. KP, now number 2. That's 9 heroes in total. Hit by that.
Just not taking damage though.
The back wall is there. The fence, the DK up towards the air. Eternal Envy, shallow graved up as well. You'll finally trigger off that BKB. Running out. He's so low, but they can't finish the job. Moo forced after way into the Infist. He'll survive. Universe gonna get fingered down. There's still a 1-for-1 trade-off, but you've burnt both your Ravagers. Karkar can tether himself out too. The Team Secret on the front door, they bring down the tier 3 tower. The team speeds are coming back. Newbee, they're not going to give this one up without a fight. Eternal Envy, however, is the only real target at the front lines. And now Moo, thanks to the stomp from Puppy. Well, actually, that doesn't really help him as much as Arteezy. He got control up for a bit. Moo comes back in again. Here's from Eternal Envy. He removes the passive with the stun, with the Shallow Grave highlight die is just sitting on the back line. The Uber medic right now, keeping Eternal Envy alive until the DK can finally finish the job. The cooldown as well, slowing down Arteezy, has to burn the cheese and will be retreating. Newbee, they hold onto their rank and they're looking for more. Arteezy hexed up that initial stun initiation from Sean. They move him into the tree line, loses the neighborhood too. You'll set the run. Moo, he's waiting for the attack. Arteezy slips his way through the tree line, but Sean is back again with another stun. Arteezy just cannot get Sean off his back, and he will be dropping down. Newbee defend their mid racks. Team Secret will be repelled.
Secret just couldn't kill anybody. Moo walks away after being silver edged, and even though Eternal Envy, it was some Herculean 5-man effort from Newbee, they eventually bring him down. It took 3 or 4 uses of the Bloodthorn and the Silver Edge to do it, but at the end of the day, they get the job done. They hold the racks. Cheese was popped 2 on Team Secret, and that is just going to make Team Secret a little bit more careful for these next engagements. Because they start to realize when you get up to high ground, you're going to have to run into the double Ravage. The same issues still exist. They have no real way to chase into the base. You see Chuan going absolutely insane in these fights with that Force Staff.
They
So
may
many
have a
different
better
things to
tank
worry
next
about.
time though, because the Satanic is rapidly approaching for the Husker.
Yeah.
So once he's got that, like these saves which come in from Pylite Die can actually turn around to Husker going back to full life.
Yeah. This has got to be so frustrating for Team Secret. They, against most normal teams, that would be enough of an effort to win, but Newbee's just so good at spell usage. That's the thing. It's honestly just item and spell usage that's keeping them in this game right now. The double Ravage, yeah, they weren't able to get kills, but it locked down a lot of different heroes. You got 4 heroes in both of them. Same time.
Looks like one way to try and stop Chuan from bursting down whoever the hell he wants. The Lotus Orb is now over on the Elder Titan. You're getting more evasion arriving through the Solar Crest, but at the same time, you look at the 2 items which are over on the DK, as well as the Gyrocopter, they're both holding on to Demon Edges at the moment.
Yeah.
And they're both like half away from having the double Javelins.
Darkseer is going to go for the Hex. That's going to solve a lot of their issues. We keep bringing it up, but it has to be said just because that is kind of what's holding Secret back in these fights. They don't really have the best way to start any of these engagements after they use those major abilities, but now with the Hex available on Universe, things are going to get a lot easier for them. Yep. Especially if you look at the BKB timers on the side of Newbee. 5 seconds on both of them. So next Aegis might just be territory for them to fight. It's on Universe. Satanic on Eternal Envy. They are in tip-top fighting shape.
Yep. But then can Newbee dodge? Newbee still need more time. They need to finish up these Monkey King bars, and if they do finish them, like, your buyback's already on cooldown for the Gyrocopter, but DK will have his in 220 gold. It's the MKB worth sacrificing your second life, especially when you're fighting from inside your own base.
Sword, I think at least one of them should get it. They need one of their 2 deep damage dealers to be able to grab one. At the same time, you need the double buyback because it's very likely that Secret just decide to go for the Roshan and then try to take the game. Newbee might be in a position though, because they are a game up, just kind of change their thought process where they say, let's go for the win.
They're actually grouping up for a smoke maneuver. Arkar's on his way over as well.
You gotta check Roshan. That's the big thing for both sides.
He doesn't spawn for potentially another 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's only then the instant spawn.
There's no way that Secret decided to try to take a fight outside their base, and there's no way that Newbee just go for a direct engagement of their own. It has to be around this Roshan pit for both sides.
Actually, by giving Hal that bottom lane, he still needs the other creep wave. He's so close to having the MKB.
They're gonna farm it together as a team, but that might just open things up for Secret.
Oh,
they have
smoke.
the DD.
Wait, Hal breaks out of the smoke. The rest of them are here. The scan comes out from Newbee. It actually reveals the fact that Secret are there, so they are well aware the gank is on the way.
Do you really want to fight into that DD?
It is a big question mark.
They are just hightailing it, but that was one of their last smokes remaining. They still have one more to go. I think that's why they felt comfortable popping that one, Toby, because they said, okay, if this one fails, well, we've got another one coming up, and that's the one they need for the Roshan engagement.
250 gold for Hal. Okay, make it now none. He's got his MKB.
Yeah, I think this is the correct play. You play for the win.
The only downside is they don't have it yet on the DK. He's still short by 900, but they prioritized it over onto House. They had something that could deal with Envy directly.
Howe's very hard to kill in these engagements. He's got a lot of HP, a lot of armor. When the ET is pushed further back, he's in a nice spot to deal some damage out. Maybe the DK should have gone in, actually. Dragon Knight's a lot harder to kill. Plus, he's got an AC of his own.
But if you also think about, like, after this next fight, like, if Newbee take this fight, they obviously don't really, like, gain a huge advantage in the game. Like, they get control of the map back almost. Like, if you can also get a butterfly over onto Hal, then he becomes the man that Secret then can't kill.
Difference in XP earned, 15k. A lot of that coming out of poor Dazzle. Net worth, just showing you how close these teams are.
Yeah. It's almost like one of these graphs is lying to us. One of these things is not like the other.
They know they're smoked up. They also know that Newbee don't do Roshan fast enough, so Newbee's just going to disengage, but unfortunately for them, they wasted one of these smokes, and Hal has to deal with this top lane.
Yep.
I think that's going to be Secret's move now. Push out this mid lane, force Newbee to play around Vision, and if they can get one more ward down around this mid area, then they can almost secure the Roshan for themselves, especially with Newbee out of smokes.
The hilarious thing is this whole like movement from Secret and Newbee has taken so long that Gyrocopter's buyback is almost off cooldown, but they may need him here right now. You can relocate in the Gyrocopter. Moo's already getting inside that Silver Edge invis. He knows Secret are on the prowl. No one's showing in any of the lanes yet.
Secret know they've been spotted too. They're going to push out this bottom lane, and what they're trying to do right now, Toby, is force the lanes in at all times so that they know when Newbee's going to come take the fight. They know Newbee don't have smokes anymore. It's a reasonable guess because they use back-to-back ones, and nobody saves a third one at this phase of the game.
But Newbee still also got the other advantage. The fact that their split push is more powerful thanks to the presence of the IO.
Yeah.
So he can always be sitting there with the Gyrocopter who mows down lanes. Now you've actually got time to get the second Monkey King bar over on Newbee. So they got direct attack on both sides. Secret, they are going to take Roshan now. Exorcism is triggered. As far as Radiant Vision goes, they do not see the pit, but they're well aware of what's going on.
They have a smoke in 1 second, okay. They're gonna bring over the Helm of Iron Will. And Newbee, if they're gonna take this fight, it's gonna be in Vision. I don't think this is a fight they want to take.
Roshan's already gone. TZ's gonna take the cheese. Eternal Envy now has the Aegis Immortal, dropping its treads in order to grab up this item.
This slow moving assault's gonna come down.
I suppose it makes it a lot easier to kite a Husker.
Indeed.
So he triggers off to the BKB and Satanic. You just back out, don't let him attack anybody.
With that Hex though.
Good luck with that when you got ET as well as Darkseer.
Yeah, with the Hex on Universe 2, it makes it a lot easier for him to gap close anyways, but Newbee, again, no smokes, can't take fights. Even if they had a smoke available at the last second, at that point Secret were already done with the Roshan.
49-minute BKB is the item of choice from Arteezy.
He needs it against the double Ravage. He understands how fast he goes down. Plus, Chuana is just doing a number on him right now.
Chuana's also got he's got a lot of money. That's 2.8k over on the Lion. Like, one, yeah, you got buyback, but two, maybe we can even see like another disable item up against Secret.
He's a Lion with only 3 deaths. You've got to commend that. He's got the least on his team.
Secret again, preparing. The Helm of the Dominator, Hal is going to convert one of the catapults to his evil cause. And Secret won't actually engage. I thought with the triggering of the weave from Dazzle, it was kind of like telegraphing the Secret one to go up. But instead, they're going to wait it out. They've already burned through just under a minute and a half worth of that Aegis timing.
Yeah, they still have a pretty good timing though. They're not in too big of a rush quite yet. Force out the lanes, push out bottom, make it so that if you do go for a push and you win the fight, you can just immediately take multiple racks.
I love seeing this kind of like item over on a DK. just casual late game. You got armor, you got direct attack, you got immunity, you got initiation. But how do I have sustain a casual morbid mask just sitting on this Dragon Knight?
Didn't he have the Helmet Dom component too?
Yeah, he did. I think it was both Hao as well as Mu who had one. EE comes up, they load us off, so Mu stunts himself. Universe thinks about jumping in. He hexed over on Mu, but the 4-star allowing Mu to disengage, fortification. Wastes a little bit of time here from Secret. Puppy tries to create more time. He keeps KP on the back line. They've still got the BKBs up for Newbee, and yes, Secret, they're out. Yeah, they didn't get what they wanted.
They used both there. I think the issue is that they hesitated for half a second on the jump on the DK. You saw that there was that moment of awkwardness where they're like, okay, he's stunned. Can we really kill him? But no, with the 4-staff from Chuan, gonna end any hopes of that.
That would have been a really good one. Is this the time when Newbee attacked? Like, they got a smoke sitting right now on the Tidehunter.
It is still difficult to fight into their lineup. I guess you could go for one, theoretically, if you push out bottom. But you gotta clear out any ward vision that they could potentially have first, too.
Well, there's only one aggressive Observer ward up from Team Secret. And actually, Secret? Okay, they just showed themselves in the mid anyway. They are telegraphing their position, so Newbee just have to wait. If they wait just a little bit longer, then Secret will come to them.
Secret right now, just waiting for the next Death Prophet ultimate. There's absolutely no reason to wait the next, to not wait the next 40 seconds. You're also just gonna wait for all the BKBs to refresh, which they have.
I guess that's 1 minute 40 seconds though.
Yeah, that is the scariest part right now of this engagement. Is they kind of have to hurry things up, but they don't want to go in pre-Arteezy ultimate, but at the same time, you really want to be able to utilize this Aegis on Eternal Envy. They already have trouble bringing him down the first time. Him having 2 lives might just enable them to go for the high ground, and here it comes.
Yep, they're on their way. They start up the weave. Hal is going to pop that call down nice and early and try and get rid of the creep wave. ET Spirit's out, looking for his early targets. Now waits a little bit longer. Damn, we've got to keep watching that time. So they got 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the Aegis. But then they jump forward again. Mu gonna self-stun for the Eternal Envy. He's also completely out of mana at the moment. Wants his Aegis the Immortal to trigger. He wants to soak up abilities. There's no creep wave on the front lines. Puppy can go for the stomp. Exorcism is available, but they're trying to use Eternal Envy as a buffer right now. And Envy, he just doesn't. He just goes for the racks. They're going to load us all up nice and quickly. And Envy down low. Shallow Grave will keep him alive. He's still got that Aegis for another probably 40 seconds. He's so... Oh, he ticks out! Okay. That's maybe not part of the initial plan. And now Eternal Envy, the stun will be there. No Lotus or help from Universe. Back wall. He catches out Mu as well as KP. Mu will go into that early BKP. And KP, where is that Ravage? Currently, he's silenced. He can't get back into the fight. Arteezy brings the Exorcism to the front lines. And Envy's going to go for it. There goes your Ravage with the Yule Sludge as well as the BKP. Second one more pop. Arteezy hit by that and the Finger of Death. They bring down Arteezy. So say goodbye to your Exorcism. Eternal Envy still on the front line. Universe there to help him with a splitter from Puppy. He'll create a lot of space. They need to start buying back. Lion's coming back in. They've already taken the melee racks. The top lane pushed it so hard that they actually took out 2 melee racks with just this push. The question is, can Secret get out scot-free? They lost Arteezy. But at this point, it's a sacrifice worth paying.
Highlight Eye almost had the angle on the grave, which would have enabled him to get that cheese off that he desperately needed to, but wasn't able to at the last second. Newbee had enough burst damage to bring him down, but still, fight one. You bring down Mu, you bring down 2 of the melee range, 2 melee racks. It's got 1 to go at this bottom lane. The range racks mid is relatively inconsequential.
Okay, at this point, your Newbee, you're 2 lanes down. Do you just like sell something and get that rapier on the gyrocopter to make a beeline for the mid?
I don't know.
You've still got 90 seconds until the first Ravage is back up again, however.
Yeah, he's probably going to buy it, but...
There it is.
Do you really just go mid without your double Ravage? Or even at least a single Ravage? I think you wait. I think the rapier is the choice in this game, because even if Secret get it, I guess they would put it on Eternal Envy. That's the only hero that can hold on to it. Yeah. If they can control him up, maybe it's okay anyways. At the point if he loses it, they might call it.
The issue for Hao is he's going to rely almost solely on Kaka to keep him alive. Yeah. Because he dropped Dominator in order to hold on to that Ravage.
I still am a big fan of Newbee. Play for the win. Doesn't matter what situation you're in, play for the win. Especially when you're still up a game and you can chance something like this.
Okay, looks like Envy's going to 6-slot himself, buy us a full assault for us. He doesn't have buyback because of this, however. He's short by about 600. But considering the last fights that have been happening by Envy, he's going to get 600 inside of it.
Yeah, this is pretty unbelievable game. How back and forth it's been. Newbee being able to hold a line that I just simply didn't think they could.
I still cannot remember a time when I've seen a team so dominant. I say so dominant in such a good position as Secret when they were 17,000 experience behind.
Yeah.
Like,
even with any sort of, there's no real leads in Dota. You can almost always break them, 15k, 10k, but probably the more impressive thing right now from Team Secret is they're not that much ahead in net worth, but they're still taking all of these engagements around the Aegis. That's just good Dota. Sometimes you see teams wait out until they have 10, 15k leads before they risk anything, but Secret are also playing for the win. They say, all right, we're going to fight around this Aegis timing no matter what, even into the double Ravage. There's still opportunities to win fights.
Newbee, tense situation for him. Trying to prepare as best they can for the upcoming fight. Mu actually did complete up a Dominator now, so he did just convert them all to Mask. An observer ward from Secret, though, it's watching the movement of Newbee. Like they know that Newbee went up to just farm up the Ancients. They're focusing primarily on the northern half of the map.
Maybe you're just gonna rinse and repeat. Push out the lanes, wait for the next Roshan engagement, take that fight with the Rapier. It's your best shot. They just keep waiting for the next Aegises. There's a good chance that Team Secret can just whittle away at your racks. And all it takes, again, with that Rapier picked up is one fight to go right.
It's a longer spawn time, though, for Roshan this time around, so Secret will have to wait until just after the 2-minute mark, or they can take it. They're going to be worrying about that gyrocopter. He's creating creep waves right now for 1100. If they do not respect Hal, he's just going to shred apart Husker.
It's a minor concern.
It's a minor one.
That Bloodthorn does a lot.
They do have a lot behind it as well, though. Like, when Dazzle's able to get the weave off, they have, like, an exorbitant amount of armor on Team Secret.
They're okay in this position anyways, just because Elder Titan is a hero that always scales. They're always going to take away a lot of that natural armor. Of course, it's going to be quite good against the DK, which is why Boo just built tons of armor items anyways. He's got plus 32 with him. So even if they get that natural order on top of him, he's in an alright position.
I'll be trying to keep that bottom lane out. It's like Newbee are just trying to get that little bit of extra cash, not to mention it is the last remaining outer tower on the map. Obviously Newbee lost all of theirs a while ago.
Yeah, Secret don't want to take this fight.
They actually fortify when that tower's at 12 HP. So the tower's still getting killed off by...
They're pinging. They want to take this fight.
Yep. Mu, however, they can't see him. He's inside the Silver Edge, and they don't have detection on the front lines. The gem is in the hands of the Darkseer, who we should also note has enough money to buy a full refresher orb, so that's double the hex. But Newbee have to come home. Their tier 4 towers are currently under siege. And this is... you still got 1 minute until Roshan, so it's
they
not
know.
as bad.
The relocate at top. They know this is going to be a 3v5 fight. They've got the angle too.
How long we got left? Counted down for Kaka to arrive back in.
They're just
He's
gonna
jump
surround.
in. Eternal Envy, thumbs up. There's your BKB. KP jumps in. There's your first Ravage. Highlight dive. Brought down by Mu. Poppy also zoned out this way. Artee's on the front lines, but he can't do enough damage. As the Kill set himself up. Now the Ravage will go again. Hitting on Poppy. Artee's in the finger of death. Can they kill it? The clap back. Kaka is still alive. He was buffing him up. The buybacks are coming in. Kaka's alive. He's actually keeping Hal up as well, so Hal can come back in with a Rapier. They bring down Eternal Envy. 3 are down for Team Secret. All will have buyback, but it's at the same time as Roshan is alive, so they'll quickly try and grab this Roshan, the insurance on the gyrocopter, and the insurance for Newbee.
What am I watching?
Dota.
I can't even believe that KP has that patience. He presses the refresher, but he realizes, okay, all the BKBs are up. I'm gonna reset my position. Hal gets a little bit low. As soon as that happens, he jumps back in, catches both the cores with it. They immediately go down as a result of this Rapier. Cheese sounds like it just immediately got eaten.
Yep.
And Kaka with that save too onto Hal. They lost that Rapier. That could have been disastrous for them, but yeah, 3 stacks of the Burning Spears, like 200 HP. Close, but the Wisp there.
Newbee's coming. Newbee is coming. You got an Aegis the Immortal. You've got a Divine Rapier on Hal. They're not all yet just yet there. You can bring KP if he buys like BTs and drags it out to himself, but it looks like Hal is going to force a little bit of an issue on the bot. Kaka can relocate him out if things get rough. And looks like the DK, okay, he'll complete a Satanic and they get a buyback out from Eternal Envy. Newbee will now disengage and just reset up.
And for the first time in a very long time, Newbee are in a winning position. They forced out the buyback from the Huskar, so all they have to do is kill him once in the fight to win. They still have 5.7k built up on how to go along with it. Probably gonna drop the phase boots at some point too. Turn into that walking tank.
He's just switching. He's switching between phase boots and the SMY he put back on the courier.
I think he knows he doesn't really need the mobility from either of those items anymore. He has a lot of control factors. He can just sit himself down and say, I'm just going to keep attacking with flat cannon. I'll catch somebody out at some point with this rapier hit.
Well, he can always just do what EE like prefers to do. Like, just buy the butterfly and use the flutter effect to get yourself around the map.
Yeah. Oh man, Secret. At one point, 2 racks up, looked like they were in a really, really good position, but NewBee strike back after that one fight. It looked so good too. Secret were sandwiching them in. They knew it was 3v5. They saw the relocate where they came out from, but that the second Ravage really what changed their fortunes.
The items are being purchased right now, so instead of going for the butterfly, Hal's actually buying up a moonshine to consume and purchases up BTs. When the Aegis drops, you can see the butterfly, but the other big item which arrives, it's a double Hex Tide Hunter, not just a double Ravage, thanks to the refresher orb, a Scythe device is now over on KP. They are still, however, 2 racks is down. We have to keep this in mind. The Secret, they're still just a bottom lane away from Megas.
I don't think that matters though anymore. In a game like this, Mega Creeps don't impact anything. You've got Hal that can pretty much deal with it as long as he wants, and same with Moo. Because he's got such high armor, and he's got lifesteal, Mega Creeps don't bother him. Tide in a similar position. They 3 ideal cores to deal with it. So Secret can't even go down suicide for that bottom racks to try to win the game. That would mean nothing. The scary thing right now for Secret is they have to win a team fight. A straight up 5v5 team fight to win the game. Then they have to push her throne.
That seems almost impossible facing the control that NewBee has and the damage they have.
That's why this game became so scary, because even though most of the time you'd say the team that was up 2 sets of racks to none is in a really good spot, it's 62 minutes into the game, the Gyrocopter has a Divine Rapier and Flat Cannon. What do you care about Mega Creeps?
NewBee is hunting. They move up to the Dire Secret shop, but Secret are currently having tea at home.
Oh,
Puppy is the lone person going out. This is at least one way to stop it. I think it was the old Miracle strat when they ran ET as well as Nagasara, and you send your illusions and your spirit down the mid, and there was no way you could actually get a creep wave beyond the river. Puppy's just trying to relieve any kind of pressure. Yeah, but NewBee seem fine with this.
That cheese is still on Arteezy, by the way.
Is it?
A few fights in a row now where he just hasn't been able to get it off.
Well, that's when we looked at Sean. Like, Sean's been all over him like a hot rash.
What? Alright. Wispin, Gyrocopter gonna TP back bottom. And I think this is where the assault begins. They feel pretty comfortable at this position. They've hemmed in Secret. They know they can win a team fight with this Hex, the double Hex, double Ravage. Even if he misses on the first Ravage, which he did, doesn't matter. You'll catch him with the second one. Yeah. No refresher on the side of Team Secret. Those are 5-second BKBs. You have to take NewBee in a fight though if you want to hold racks.
Well, he's approaching the front lines. They avoid the Spirit Stomp, and now Arteezy with the Shiva's Guard. All he did is just hit the creep wave. How? He's fine with this. They move forward, now goes into Dragon Form, Eternal Limb. He actually got missiles moves on the back line. They load us all over onto the Death Puppet, trying to keep Arteezy alive, but there's a Ravage. They all go bouncing up and down as KP goes for another hit. He hits 4 of them again. Puppy will go down. The buybacks are coming out. Universe stranded on the front lines. The bottom rank already in the sidelines. As Envy, BKB's front line, NewBee, they want to disengage. Moo may be the sacrificial lamb, but he's also got Satanic. Turns around, can't keep the attacks coming, however. Sean tried to be the space creator, but it wasn't enough. He can't even blink himself away. He might have a 4-star for the moment. He'll lose the gem if they can only catch up to him, and there it is. The splitter as well as Spirit Siphons being committed to kill off Chuan. Bottom racked is gone. You keep your rapier in the hands of Hal.
You have the buyback available on the Dragon Knight too. It's a 7k gold built up Hal as well. Could go for the second rapier.
But you actually go second rapier, or you're still looking to the butterfly?
If you go for the second rapier, you're in a position where you can just die one time, which is perfectly fine, and he's 300 gold away from being able to buy the second one.
He's walking, and with 7.9k, he is actually building a Satanic.
Yeah, I guess he...
Okay, survivability.
That's perfectly fine. Crocus can keep him alive for the initial burst, then he can pop the Satanic. And it's not like Secret can fight into that core anyways. Secret now are in the unenviable position where both their major cores have used their buybacks, and they barely just repelled them. They lost their racks at bottom, which is the one lane that they didn't have control over, so now they're going to constantly have to push that one out, which is going to be annoying for them. And even, again, straight up pushing in a bottom might not necessarily win them the game, but looks like Secret...
That's like their only window of opportunity, right? Like, the double Ravage is down.
Yeah, but
You actually don't have a Ravage for 50 seconds. Like, it's the only window.
I think so too. Because if you wait for the double Ravage, Newbee can look for any one engagement and the game is over. So take it to them, try to win the game off of this. Universe can not boot to travel
Here they
over.
come. Eternal Envy actually gets a 65-minute Hurricane Pike.
Push people away.
Give him the distance. At least it's almost like guaranteed like heal from the Satanic.
Yeah.
Because that's not like they're going to stop him.
Problem right now is if you lose this one engagement, of course the game ends. If you lose Eternal Envy or Arteezy, the game ends. There are a lot of different ways where Secret just lose the game. And Newbee, even losing How at this point, does not mean the game is over. That's the scary part. Team Secret. Losing their Rapier no longer ensures Secret to win.
Oh, I don't know if that was intentional. How just got left behind. He's got PTs available
They are
anyway.
running their way over. He has to get out of there
no,
right now.
He's got PTs on him, so he's fine. He's straight back home,
Oh,
but
they're making their way in.
Are they
know
gonna-
the double Ravage is down.
they're going to slip in from behind. You've still got one Ravage up. It's 36 seconds until double Ravage is there for KP. He'll move forward to the front lines. They
Not
break the
believe they're
smoke.
attempting
Now
this.
they realize it's the back three-man wall. That catch out three, but isn't enough. Can't get forced up away. The Ghost will protect him, and how? The damage. They're focusing down.
BKBs are fading.
The splitter is happening. How gets done for the moment. KP already had to use the Ravage. You've got the buyback coming back. Seeker are actually assaulting inside Newbee's home, and Moo's in trouble. Lotus off. They stun themselves up.
They're gonna have to
KP
do it
trying
twice,
the
though. The
damage.
buybacks come.
Universe so low. Hal backing out. He doesn't have the immortality. Satanic's on cooldown for 13 more seconds, but they haven't taken the next lane of racks. You take a fight, you force the buybacks, but you haven't achieved any other objective yet.
Unbelievable that Secret even come close to winning that
Oh,
fight
they
inside the Newbee
relocate.
base.
They're coming forward. How is next up? Karka, he's no longer tethered. Will they have enough time? Moo comes in from behind. Eternal Envy's going to get stunned up. Karka, 3 seconds
can't
until they
afford
can pull
any
back
ports
out again.
here.
The back from Universe comes back out. You've got Eternal Envy now isolated. How will bring him down 105 seconds without the Sama. Arteezy has to keep running too. He can't BT. He's got no BT, but he's actually made to juke it around the tree line. They don't realize where he's gone. He moves back over to the midway, but there's no Radiant Creek Wave to give him vision. They're on the run. They have to know he's gone somewhere, but you're basically chasing up after Arteezy.
If they
when
catch
you
him
want
here,
to
though,
be
the game's
assaulting.
done.
Can they catch him?
Oh, they're gonna see the Shivas too.
Oh boy.
And with the creep wave coming in, if
Wait.
Arteezy dies here, he doesn't have buyback
He
for
almost
3.
has to actually go for the Radiant base, pick up, go and BT out. Like BKB and TP out, that's the only hope he's got. The missile's chasing him down. He makes the run. There's the TP. Arteezy.
damage is so
the
good,
damage is too much. He can't survive. 2 minutes now without Arteezy. Newbee are still in damage control. They still have to repair the top and mid lane.
Part of the problem though is Newbee know for a fact there's no buyback up on that DP. They are reasonably certain there's going to be no buyback on that Huskar. Just bought that Hurricane Pike. Doesn't even have the gold for it. This is now going to be their opportunity.
It's stall time though. You see what Puppy's doing. The first thing he did was run towards the middle lane. He stomps the wave. He slows down the push here of Newbee as much as he possibly can.
I think Secret are in a position where they can be okay with giving away one set of racks. Giving away Mega Creeps might be a little bit too much for this lineup to handle, but
So you
all gonna
just
come down to
keep
these
trying.
three.
You just keep trying to stall them.
Yeah.
That's all.
you slow down the assault, you force whatever you can. You gotta buy at least a little bit of more time for this Huskar to come back up. I was gonna boot to travel in now.
Well, the moment, Newbee. They attack. They go, wow, that tower. It doesn't stand a chance. They still have fortification here, Secret. 5 seconds until Envy is up, but you're still missing your Death Prophet. They move for the Megas. Universe. Double wall would be the hope, the prayer that it could actually do something, but you got 43 seconds until Envy. The timer is too much. He's back, and then the initiation. KP's gonna catch it. Universe doesn't have buyback. He's down. He can't even get the refresh drop. Envy's gone. I think the hope from Team Secret will go with him. Envy will be shallow graved up to try and survive. Puppy almost trying to use himself as a distraction. Envy will jump forward, but the damage, the physical is still too much. How is a beast, and How will take the kill over on the poor little Envy Huskar. The top ranks will join him too. You can stomp up 14 seconds until Arteezy. This is the last thing the Secret will have, which could potentially repel Newbee, who are now megged against Team Secret. They're actually backing out. They're gonna give Secret breathing room. Roshan is available, but they're not going to go for the GG push.
I sort of think they should. There's still 73 seconds to go for Envy. If he had buyback, he would have used it to at least try to save against Mega Creeps, but Darkseer down 2.
They want Roshan first.
Yeah, they're going to secure they know they've still got the Refresher Ravage about to come up too. Any sort of single team fight one is going to mean the game for them. With the Aegis and Cheese, it's going to make it that much harder for Team Secret to the line here once again. Smoke's
Oh,
gonna come
boy.
out, but it's just gonna be to get to the mid lane even faster. Newbee are not the type of team to allow mega creeps to do their work for them.
How many games do you have where an IO will take the Aegis over a DK who takes the cheese instead?
Oh, he needs it to be able to save this gyrocopter. The Aegis is gonna be really useful on him. Now you've got the refresher already popped on the KP. He wants to make sure he has it for this fight. Got an Octarine available as well.
24 seconds. 22 seconds. Count it down until Secret are back at full force. You still have now Darkseer back with his full combo with the refresher orb. So we can make a play for that. 13 seconds to go. The tier 4 tower's dropping. Easy will now trigger the ultimate. They try and slow down Newbee. Universe still can't find that opening just yet. And they jump forward. There's your back. You only caught out how the BKBs would go. KP, not a great ultimate. May still be another. They can kill off Arteezy. They're managed to bring him down. Where is the extra damage? EE's back to the front lines, but you've already got your fortress open, ready for attack. The stomp from Puppy helps them set up Universe. Where is the dream? It's just not there. You've already used the refresher orb. There's nothing more to fight with. Karka tethers over. He keeps Tower alive, and Envy now isolated. This should be it. With the Hex up, Universe is also dropping quickly. The Shallow Grave just prolonging to the inevitable, which is Eternal Envy dying. Universe will go down to, and there it is. GG. It looked like the Newbee streak was going to be ended by Team Secret here in game number 2, but after 71 minutes and 47 seconds, Newbee will take the series 2-0 against Team Secret.
Unbelievable display of skill from both teams, but Newbee come out on top. Just superior team fight throughout. They held their high ground for so long that at one point it didn't matter. The decision of how to go for that rapier, barely getting caught out at the end of it. These two cores really saving the lives for them. And Chuan, the amount of force staffs that he had, the